Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for Living Local, your lifestyle show for all things Charleston and beyond. I'm Ashley Meservey. Joining us today, a familiar face here on Living Local, we have Cindy's back here. She's the owner of Southern Cosmetic Laser. Thank you so much for having us back.
Thank you.
All right, Cindy, we're talking about the third component. You've taught us a lot over the past several weeks. This third component when it comes to like skin rejuvenation and things like that. We're talking about fillers today.
So just to quickly recap, the three major pieces of the puzzles are the components for the anti-aging skin rejuvenation process. Skin's number one. We talked about different ways you can improve the integrity of the skin, whether it be technology, lasers, and so forth. And the second being neurotoxins to relax the expression lines so you're not engraving the rut in the road, or you're getting a counterbalance or a lifting effect with like neurotoxins like Botox, Juvo, Xeomin, Dysport. And the third one is the one we're talking about today, which is the filler.
Okay.
And the reason why I generally put that as the third component, because some of the patients who come in, if you want more of an instant gratification, filler would be it. That is probably the one that you can see the quickest. Neurotoxin takes about a week or so. Skin is like having a baby. It takes 6 to 9 months. It's the process. Mm-hmm. But definitely it's an important component, but I like to treat it as the third one because some of the technology may minimize the effects or the length of your filler. So you don't want to metabolize or break them down sooner than they naturally last. So all of us need volumization. We lose about a teaspoon of volume beginning at about age 28. We lose about a teaspoon every decade. So the goal is not to wait till your gas tank gets completely empty because you have to have a lot more volume to see some significant change. We lose fat, the muscles become thin, they become drapey, and then we also, like I say, the skin integrity, and we lose bone. So with all those components, it's like the concept of the balloon. If you have a balloon and you partially deflate it, you can't get all the wrinkles out of the balloon until you volumize it somewhat. In the filler world, essentially, there's basically two types of fillers. Patients all know hyaluronic acids, and those are fillers that put in and they melt and they metabolize and your body breaks them down. So they're very similar to a product your body makes hyaluronic acid. So those you put in, they give you a little bit of immediacy, but then they tend to pull water in, so you see a little bit more with some of those. Those are like the Juvederms and the Restylane, so those are hyaluronic acids. Then you have some fillers that are biostimulatory, meaning that you put them in, you don't see as much of a change in the beginning, but over time they act more like, here's my farm girl, they act more like fertilizer because you put them in and they stimulate, but they improve the collagen and the elastin component, and they give you that natural, which if filler is injected correctly, they all should look natural. You know, the goal and the fear of people is, I don't want to look, oh my gosh, you look funny.
Yeah.
So I just put 9 syringes in my face in January, and definitely I could use more. So I think I'm overfilled.
Pretty good. But this is what we were talking about, right? This is how much you said?
This is about a teaspoon of product. And this is people always have the false thought that, okay, I'm going to get 1 syringe. I'm just going to get 1 syringe of filler. The problem is this is an equivalent to 5 syringes, and this is about a teaspoon. So a decade, 28 to 38. So if you're in your late 30s, not that I would put 5 syringes into your face. It really depends on what bothers you the most. Some people, we kind of divide the face up into 3 areas, upper face, mid face, lower face. So looking at each individual person, because DNA, everyone has a different genetics, everyone has a different facial anatomy. People who are very athletic tend to lose a lot more fat than those who not. So if you're a little bit overweight, your face looks pretty good. So you're that's a good advocate for being just a little overweight. But people don't understand that, okay, I'm going to get 1 syringe. So I show this example because this is 5 syringes.
Okay. So what's like a typical amount that most people get, like in their 30s? I know it varies, but like if you...
It just varies, but it depends on where you actually need to get the correction to see the most change. So most clients, 2 to 3.
Gotcha.
You know, I always say that's a great starting point, unless you're doing lips. You know, lips are different. You know, 1 syringe and lips are perfectly fine, depending.
Because you can always tell when those go wrong.
Yeah, you know,
there's
if you don't
It's just not a cute look. All right. So
No, but if you get the ducky lip, someone didn't inject you appropriately.
I know, but you see those a lot more often than you should. I mean, you see them. I mean, as a female, like looking around, I'm like,
the lips it's an art to inject lips.
Yeah.
You always have to augment the lower lip when you augment the upper lip, or you get that parallel ducky lip. The lower lip is bigger than the top lip. So there's an art to that.
Yeah.
But so I just say this, so people walk in and says, I can only afford one syringe. Fillers are an investment. So I don't care which ones you use. It's going to be, you can put a couple in, 6 months, put some more, depending on which filler or which products is how long they last. Some of them last longer than others.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
I know you can't see this on the screen, but this is the little hyaluronic. This is pretty neat. And I know you can't see it, but you can feel that one compared to this one. So you might have to take 2 fingers.
Ooh. Okay.
So that gives you an idea of what they feel like. So they're different fillers that have different characteristics. They have different lifting capabilities. They have different hydrophilic, means that some pull water in more than others. Always up to the
So these are just
provider.
different types of filler.
Those are all Juvederm family members, and there are 5 family members. People always get confused. I want Juvederm. Well, Juvederm has 5 products in the U.S. market. All 5 products have the name Juvederm. They have different last names based upon certain characteristics of the filler. There's 5
And Cindy is going to educate you, by the way, when you come in here.
So yes, I'm a talker. So
no, I love this. I love this. All right, tell us before
So just before we leave, I like to show this picture. This is my favorite one. People have a hard time understanding muscle and bone, but you can see fat.
Gotcha.
So you see the person who has lots of yellow on her face here, and across the lifespan, you see how they have very much less yellow. That's the representation of just how much fat you can lose in your face. And that is that scaffolding that's holding up and giving you that more triangular look that we all have. As we get older, we look kind of square.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that youthful look gives you that triangle look, and that's what filler would help improve that youthfulness of the face.
And you would say start at what age? I know it varies probably too, but I mean, like, I know when you get in your 30s, I'm 36.
I'd say if you started, the sooner you start being proactive about it, you can get away with a lot less. And it really depends on who your parents and what kind of face they gave you, genetics. So if you have really great cheek structures, you can get away with less.
Yeah.
If you're very skinny face like me and very thin face, you gotta have more filler to hold it
and
up.
mine's the expressions are all,
Well, that's neurotoxin.
Yeah.
That's
but I know, but I just think about it like, I know with the filler and stuff, I got plenty to fill right here.
That's good. That's good.
The pandemic pounds that she gained.
Fillers are, I consider them pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So that's why I always talk to patients about what's best for you and working on the skin first. If you can get the skin in the best shape,
exactly,
then you'll be happier with less filler.
And you'll feel better about yourself, because even like when you're overweight, you'll feel better at your appearance, right?
Yes.
All these things is sometimes as vain as that can sound, that's the world we live in, right?
That's right.
And you got to keep it looking young and right and tight. Your face. I feel like I can say that kind of stuff in front of you, Cindy.
That's right.
All right. So anything else we need to know before we head out as far as appointments and things like that? Just give you a call.
Give me a call. Everyone's facial assessment is going to be different. It's going to depend on and what we're trying to accomplish with the face. And so it's hard to answer over the phone how many syringes you need. Can't answer that until I see you. And obviously I'm going to talk about all 3 components when you come in, and then talk about the different fillers, because there's different fillers for different clients and some work better for others.
Gotcha. All right, Cindy, always a pleasure hanging out with you.
Thank you.
And for more information, you can head online to southerncosmeticlaser.com. More living locals coming your way, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.